let's go with some of the women's segments. Jamie Hayter had a sit down interview with Tony Schiavone.
I know I missed the interview of the year, man. Okay, I
Um,
need to ask you.
Ask me.
The prediction that I made, was it even remotely close to what happened?
Nope.
So Britt did not come in and...
Nope. She was not there for this at all.
I'm surprised, but I'm also happy.
You know what? You're right and you're wrong. I'm going to get to why you're right, kinda, after I talk about this Jamie Hayter interview.
Okay.
So, Jamie Hayter, Britt actually it's just Tony and Jamie Hayter. No Britt. I was expecting her to walk up as soon as Tony asked her a question. No. Jamie got to answer the questions. What did they talk about during this interview? This very, very short interview? Not Jamie Hayter. They talked about her thoughts on the women's division.
So
yeah, this was basically it was to hype up her next challenge.
But also continues with the story of what they said, like, why aren't you interviewing the new champ? Why isn't this about Jamie right now? And literally she gets her sit down interview.
Yeah, I'm like, she's got a sit down interview. The shortest sit down interview I've ever seen in AEW, and she doesn't get to talk about herself. She has to talk about the women's division, and she specifically mentions that, Tony brought up the match between Hikaru Shida and the Bunny that's going to take place on Rampage.
I wonder who's going to win that.
Yeah, and
also happy.
Yeah, Jamie's like, oh yeah, the women's division is tough. I'm on top of the totem pole. I'm going to be a fighting champion. Whoever wins on Friday can have a shot at this. And Tony says, "Oh, you're going to give a shot to whoever wins the match on Friday, adding stakes to the match." And it's like, yeah, I said I'm a fighting champion.
Now, did she have more natural? Did she have a solid natural charisma?
There wasn't much. I feel like there wasn't even enough.
Okay.
To say that she had any charisma there.
Like, we both would agree and did in the past that, like, Claudio, when he first got his chance to talk by himself, just none of it.
Yeah. So I can definitely say not bad. Definitely not bad. I can say that at the very least. I'm not completely vested in Jamie Hayter, but I want to be, and they just were like, nah, you don't get to be. We're not going to talk about Jamie Hayter. We're going to talk about Hikaru Shida and the Bunny during our sit-down interview.
I feel like her first big story where you start to get meat to the bones and layers to the story is going to come when the Brit stuff happens.
I think so as well. Since you mentioned Britt, there's an interview backstage with Saraya. And this is where the Britt interruption that you were talking about earlier happened. Because Saraya doesn't really get to say anything during her interview. Of course, Britt walks up right away. Saraya doesn't make any sense. How come her first match back got to be on pay-per-view against, someone like her? She didn't really make any good points, unfortunately, here. I felt like.
I mean, that is a good point, but we all know why.
Yeah, we all know why. I mean, but it's like, all right, you're not really I don't feel like you're making your case here at all, because now you're just bringing up the fact that you lost to somebody that hasn't wrestled in 9 years or however many years they said it was. So it's like, all right, well, yeah, why does she get this privilege, but at the same time,
why did you lose?
Yeah. But Britt pulls out some tickets to, I'm not 100% certain. Yes, it was January 4th. I had to look at the calendar real quick and make sure that was a Wednesday. She gave her tickets to the January 4th Dynamite front row and says, here, since you're not a wrestler and all that, you can just come to the show, or if you want to wrestle, basically let me know. So I'm down for my rematch.
Is January 4th going to be a themed episode or something so closely after? Oh, that's just going to be their New Year's episode.
Yeah. Because that'll be their first episode of the year. So that makes sense. Yep. First episode of the year. So you want to set some nice matches for it.
I'm surprised
set some stuff with some hype.
I'm actually kind of surprised. The Saturday before would be New Year's Eve. That would be kind of like an opportune time to set like a battle of the belts instead of doing like a special Dynamite, to actually have one on. But never mind. Yeah, doing any kind of
ratings. Ratings on a New Year's Eve, like the nighttime. Probably trash.
Unless
nah.
Unless they were like, hey, we're going to wrestle in Times Square.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the only way you could do it. Because who the hell is about to be at their New Year's party watching wrestling? I mean, I love me some wrestling, but I doubt that I would ever be at a New Year's party where people were just watching wrestling.
Hold on, no, I could think of one.
There's one?
I mean, you'd have to. Okay, it's theoretical
or
hypothetical. One? WCW did shows at one of the biggest clubs in the country, down in Florida in Panama City Beach. They ran a lot of nitros and stuff at Club La Vila.
Oh.
You would do a New Year's Eve at Club La Vila.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would have to basically do something like that where you're not worried about the crowd size.
Yeah, I'd do that. Oh yeah. Okay, maybe I stand to be potentially corrected. But most people are not trying to watch wrestling.
Yeah, it'd be a bad move.
On New Year's Eve. It would be a bad idea to do Battle of the Belts that day. Yeah. Belts. So, speaking of belts,
Jamie's gonna get her. So, not Jamie, but Britt's gonna get her win back January 4th. I swear to God, if Soraya wins both times and it's the only time she's fucking wrestled in like 4 months, I will be pissed.
I feel like they can't do that. Like, they're probably going to make a series out of it, like a 2 out of 3 kind of thing.
What if they save the third for when Britt eventually gets into a Jamie? Britt can take the title off Jamie, and you can have the rubber match at like All Out next year.
I would be down for that.
Or since New Japan doesn't use women, move that up a few months, and you can let that be the women's championship match on like Forbidden Door. I think Double or Nothing would be too soon to transition through those champions, though.
Yeah, that's too quick. It's too quick. I mean, Britt had a decent enough reign to where you don't have to give her the title for long whenever she gets it again, because obviously she'll get it again some point. But
you're talking like 6 months that you'd have to go from Jamie to Britt and then be having the Saraya match, which you're probably at that point, maybe Saraya becomes your new champion.
Sounds about right. I mean, or really, what we can do is let Willow Nightingale take the belt off of Jamie.
I think you're wrong on that one. I still think Willow makes a lot more sense for her story to end up beating Jade.
Yeah. Because just like that little promo she had with Jade a while back, where she's just like, yeah, you keep winning and winning, and you keep beating me, but I'm going to keep trying.
But
and
also,
she's like, you can't keep winning forever.
Exactly. She would still win a championship. Granted, it wouldn't be the world championship, but she would be winning a championship. But more importantly, she would be ending the streak. And that is probably the biggest deal out of all of that.
All right. Willow for TBS champ. I changed my mind. Let Jamie keep her belt. Willow for TBS champ. And then she can take Jamie's belt too. After. But assuming it'll be on someone else. But TBS champ. That's a good segue into our next match, or well, one of the matches on the card here. Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, Layla Gray,
the
aka
baddies.
the Baddies, versus Kiera Hogan and the Step Family, Madison Rayne and Sky Blue.
Go back, watch old streams, and if it doesn't already make sense to you, find references to them in the past.
Yeah. You'll understand. You probably already understand even without the context. But Jade and Layla and Red Velvet, they look good together.
Does it feel weird not having Kiera with them, though?
You know, it actually didn't feel weird to me.
Wonder if it's because you stayed with, 3? So it wasn't addition or subtraction?
Yeah, because if it had just been like Jade and Layla, or Jade and Red Velvet, then it would have been weird. But since they've built up Layla enough to where she feels like she's supposed to be there, and Red Velvet was already there, it's fine.
Because I feel like if you think of Jade with just one person by your side, that person you're probably picturing in your head has blue hair and was on the other side of the ring tonight.
Yeah. So they Kiera Hogan and Madison Rayne and Sky Blue actually come out to Kiera Hogan's music all together. Yeah. I was happy about that. It's happening! I was so happy about it. The crowd is getting behind Kiera too.
Bro, if Kiera, if it's not Willow and it's Kiera here soon,
I'm all right with that.
Like my two favorite, go to bed and they might pop up in my dream women of AEW would be both the champions.
Because Kiera's got it, man. I think they realized it and they pulled her away from those baddies so that she could go babyface by herself. Because the crowd is starting to get behind her already, real fast.
Man, I remember
it didn't take much.
I remember. I feel like your introduction, like the whole Kiera introduction, was somewhere similar to that time that Rusev came back, and I popped like a motherfucker. And so, like, I was so happy that she got signed and she was gonna have a match, and I was so excited for her arrival in AEW.
Oh yeah. It's I think it's finally time for her singles push. Thank you. Yes, as he's mouthing "thank you" over and over. But yes, it is definitely time for Kiera's singles push. Crowd is behind her. She looks good in the ring. She's always looked good in the ring to me, but she's looking even better in the ring lately. Oh, speaking of looking better in the ring, Sky Blue